What's up, guys? Thin Line Defense. We got another React video. This is kind of an in-between one. So this one was actually recommended by Walsh. Up here.
You can see Walshy Poo. Like, that's the name I use whenever I want to be a total jerk to someone. So if you know I'm being a turd in the comments, that's the name.
I don't know this video. I don't know. Joe, did he tell you what video this is?
No, I don't even know the title or what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what I thought this whole thing was about. So Walsh choosing the video, kind of lame. Like,
yeah. Well, we have a lot of suggestions. We have suggestions now, but like we didn't at the time. So we'll
for the next one.
Yeah. So in the future, we'll have a bunch of really good suggestions. So this was, kind of we haven't.
I'm just happy that I was invited this time. First time I've been invited. So thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
We've only done one other one.
Hey, come take a look at this. If you have
I was about to say, this is the video. I'm going to hate it already.
Away from the driver.
They're gonna.
I love these people.
Okay. So what is this one? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
these are like my two favorite
scenarios.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. These are like my two favorite attorneys.
So
I watch them all the time.
We had a really good live chat where we kind of talked about some different self-defense scenarios and different stuff, and it was crazy. I saw this later. I was like, this is so perfect. I kind of want to share it with you guys and then share our thoughts as we go. I thought it'd be pretty cool. So yeah, sorry if it's not like, hey, it's unknown, but like it kind of is. We'll see though.
Ready?
You guys haven't seen it. Yeah.
Let me know if the volume's not good enough.
Yeah.
Arrest one of you.
Oh, that's good.
Right? Anytime you call them out, probably, if there's been some sort of use of force, and they're not going to want to hear the whole backstory behind it. They don't care.
I've only watched these guys like once or twice.
Oh, I've seen a whole bunch.
I love 5 most common self-defense scenarios.
I think they say things that would piss most people off. Like, I'm going to shoot your dog. Like, well, you can't do that.
And why it's so important that you prepare in advance.
What is this, ATF?
Statistic.
You gotta turn it up a little bit.
Show your support for the Second Amendment by leaving a comment. We want to hear from you if you find this type of information helpful. Now, we analyzed several thousand critical incidents that we've been involved with over the years.
I can't believe Walsh picked this.
Discovered
there's some get past all this. Once we get past all this,
most common self-defense scenarios, and why this is so important that we discuss.
I think there's a lot of dumb, like people have. There's gonna be some scenarios they mentioned that are
hurricanes.
Like,
if you live in a
I would always do that. I'm from Texas, and you're really not going to
see these scenarios pop up over and over and over again. I think
people from Texas probably would though.
These are scenarios that you need to be thinking.
I'm going to shoot that drone out of the sky. I own that sky.
Now that brings us to number.
Dude, did you hear the 911 call where he shot a guy robbing a neighbor's house?
Yeah, that's breaking a fight.
Oh, here we go. Breaking up a fight.
Let's say you're just
this recently happened. Remember that firefighter that got he was trying to like break up
one guy getting pummeled by another. You decide you're going to go help.
Breaking up a fight, and
unfortunately, we
the
see
girlfriend took the guy's gun and like shot the firefighter and killed him.
Pitfalls we see associated with this are maybe it starts out as a use of force or physical force or a low level of non-deadly force, and it escalates to a use of deadly force because the person intervening doesn't know everything that's going on, maybe who the good guy is, or if there's a crowd of people that multiple people are involved. And so we see these things escalate,
this is where you're like,
very frequently.
I thought about Joe when I heard
that. I mean, the guy
who
who
who the good guy is at the time.
Either the good guy or the bad guy in this scenario.
Yeah, you see someone like Casey Jones mask, you think he's a good guy.
And the other part,
right?
When you're
he's a good guy.
And so, that does require a lot of times an escalation of force on your part, potentially even to deadly force. And then, if especially if you don't know, and then all of a sudden you shot the good guy because the good guy's taking swings at you because he's just so disoriented, potentially you have a huge problem.
So to just be cognizant that this scenario comes up so frequently that it's number 5 on our list, and that if you are going to involve yourself and intervene in defense
so
of
many
a third
people who just
person,
inject themselves
in your state,
number 5.
You got to be very careful that you understand the circumstances.
Especially, I could see that happening a lot when it's when a female involved, either a female with female fighting or a male with female. I can see people jumping in a lot more. You know what I mean? Or like they said, like if it's very one-sided, I can see myself jumping in.
But then you don't even know. I've been helping the bad guy.
Yeah, but I don't care at that point. When it's one-sided and when somebody beat their beat, like I believe that full-heartedly. And when somebody's knocked out and you continue to punch them, or they're curled up in the fetal position and you continue to beat on them, then I'm gonna step in.
Bar fights.
Yeah, bar. So number 4 is now bar or restaurant fight.
Example we see of this.
I don't know why you have a gun at a bar, but okay.
Stem from bar fights. you know, everyone's drinking, first of all. And so that's not a good way to start any story.
No,
But then, you know, I mean,
makes me think of that
intoxicated,
FBI
you're
agent
not
that was at the
really
club in
using
Denver.
perhaps the level
Like,
of
did
the
force
backflip?
to defend
Yeah, his
yourself
gun
that
fell
you
out and he went to
normally
go pick it up
use.
and shot
And
someone.
Yeah,
proportionality
you
is
should say
conduct
former
based on the
FBI
intoxicated
agent.
Yeah,
person,
former
right?
FBI
It's going to
agent.
be judged
He was
based on
brand new
the
too.
ordinary prudent man.
Yep.
Listen,
I bet
So
you he was so proud.
if
I
you're
mean,
carrying, you
I
shouldn't
can
be
think
drinking.
of two
Like,
examples just
I
off
don't
the
know where
top of my
that.
head.
people
One,
get
I
No,
had a
not
client
shouldn't be.
who,
It's illegal.
Yeah.
you know, I think really was the victim of this bar fight, but he ends up at the bottom of sort of a dog pile, and he bites someone's nose essentially off.
Ugh.
It was pretty gnarly.
What the?
But you know, that's the sort of thing you get arrested for. He's not even sure who he's biting. He's just
You're just
using
biting
the most
random
defense
people.
that he can. His
Trying
hands
to
Well,
survive.
when
are
you
not
think your
free.
life is in
In fact, he's
jeopardy,
arrested for second-degree felony here
But
in
see, but now,
Texas
like,
because his
now
buzz
nobody
carries
cares about
bodily
anything
injury.
besides somebody got their nose bit off. Like, it's like, well,
Right.
he was calling me so and so. Like, you bit some guy's no. Nobody cares anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy now.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
this story from when I was excuse me, I was stationed in Idaho. This guy was coming out of a bar, and he thought it'd be funny to pull his ding dong out and kind of like flash it. And there happened to be an off duty cop who was right there, and so she like shoved him against the wall, like was pinning him against the wall, and was calling in the cops to come arrest the guy because indecent exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And his dick's still hanging out, so he's like, so his hands are against the wall. He's like trying to move him down, and she's like, "Get your hands up!" And he like puts his hands up. He's all scared, and he's like, "Come on, my dick's hanging out." She's like, "Okay, put it away real quick." So zip it back up.
Okay.
Yeah, military guy. That's what you get. Military
I don't
guys getting drunk
know.
at a
Like
bar.
both of these scenarios, I kind of feel like if you're living that lifestyle, you probably shouldn't be carrying. I know that that's hard, and some people, some Second Amendment people are going to frown upon that, but there's a time and a place for everything. And if you're going to the bar and you're carrying, I don't care if you're the DD or not. Like, I stay away from bars, but
Yeah. It gets
I don't know, dude.
even better. You're gonna get more
Agree.
egregious
And
as
you
it
know, I
goes.
mean, it's just it's tough to combat that when you are the guy who used the most amount of force, even if you're alleging I was the guy who was at the bottom of this pile.
Well, I
Yeah,
got hurt.
and we see this principle come up in lots of different
You bit off
defensive
someone's
scenarios,
nose.
but in this
Yeah,
one,
like,
the
we
element
don't
of
care, man.
innocence, you know, when juries don't
Mhm.
like is when people are perceived as heightening
Juries don't
emotion
like
or
it when
heightening
people
tension or
heighten emotions.
escalating the incident, and so we see that come
Like,
up
I got
frequently
hit with the
in
bar
these kind
stool,
of
and
bar
then you bit
restaurant
his
disputes.
face off. Like,
And
Yeah.
things that you can do to avoid this: don't become intoxicated. You know, if you
See, that's
decide
what
to go
Joe's
out
saying.
and you know
Don't drink.
celebrate, be very cognizant.
Just don't drink. Be like
of,
Walsh. You have one
not
beer and he's out
escalating
of it.
incidents,
Yeah,
not
you passed out
provoking incidents,
like a cat in
not,
the sun.
you know, we see
Like
this come up
bedtime.
over and over and over
I
again.
was
But
gonna get
it's one that
some
can be
beers to
easily
celebrate, and I was like,
Oh
avoided.
yeah, don't
"There's
let
no
your pride
point, man. I
take
want to go to
over
bed at
when
9:30."
you know ultimately that could mean a trip to jail and then the consequences going forward.
Imagine
filing
him with a
self-defense
whiskey.
case.
Yeah. The
Oof.
number 3 most common self-defense
There we
scenario
go.
we find folks getting into is a neighbor dispute. Now,
Makes you think of the
taking a couple
Rand
different
Paul.
forms, I'd say.
Yeah.
Rand Paul's out like mowing his lawn, and
Neighbor
some neighbor comes and
who
starts
doesn't
beating the
respect
crap
the
out of him.
boundary on property, or a neighbor who maybe has dogs that's destroying your property. We see this come up a lot: destroying fences,
They're
tunneling
too
under
loud.
fences. Yes.
I mean, there are all sorts of things that come up between neighbors.
And
Oh,
where the
gosh.
major pitfalls are with neighbor disputes is that, let's say you're ever forced to defend yourself, use force, or you're forced to
Hold on a
preserve
second,
your own life,
Jason.
use deadly
Hold on a
force in that scenario.
Now, imagine the sheer level of basic communication that has to break down to the point where you need to defend yourself now from your neighbor. Like,
Yeah, but you got to think. Okay, so couple things. Number one, this is egos. Everybody hits the police officer out there for, you know, not getting their ego in check and having too much of an ego, and some do. But this is egos. This isn't just like road rage. Like,
Yeah.
it's just ego. Somebody couldn't turn away.
yeah, I had to
Somebody got flipped off, so then they had to take it to the next level, which pissed the person that flipped them off, so they had to take it to the next level.
Yeah, so I had to knock over their shovel. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, it's exactly what Walsh was talking about, though. Like the breakdown in basic communication skills that would have to happen in order for you to get to that point where you're using self-defense, a firearm, in a self-defense scenario with your neighbor.
it's baffling.
I would say who has a firearm on them while they're getting in the confrontation, but I mow my yard with a firearm on. So
I was like, it's you, like Joe.
yeah,
Anyone in this group, I'd be like, would they really have firearms on them?
Joe. Yeah,
Oh,
Joe's got like 5-year-old S2V Rockies
Dude,
and his Hellcat in the small of his back.
100%. You just described it.
I know.
Outside waistband carry too. Like,
But again, this is ego, right? So I'll give you my scenario. So I had a neighbor approach me. My wife, I had left. My wife went over. They had a party, a vehicle halfway blocking our driveway. My wife couldn't back out. So my wife went over, knocked on the door, and said, "Move your car." And they did. So this a day later, how I've worked on so many vehicles, explaining some stuff, and the guy come over and like, "Hey, I'm your neighbor. I want to introduce myself." I had no clue any of this had happened. I want to introduce myself, blah, blah, blah. And then he proceeded to go into the whole rant about how my wife going over and telling him to move the car, it killed the morale of the party. Yeah. And he's standing on my property while saying that. I'm like, all right, well, look, here's the deal. Number one, I haven't talked to my wife yet. I didn't know I'm blocking the driveway. He said they're just in front of our house. I said, so number one, here's the deal. If I don't know the story, but if the story isn't the way that you said it, then I'll apologize right here and right now. Sorry about that, and we could be done with this. Well, he just kept saying the same thing over and over again, and I was getting mad.
So what do you want me to do?
I said, yeah, I said, all right, man, look, here's the deal. You only came over here to introduce yourself in order to complain, and I said some choice words, not just complain. I've already apologized, so now you can politely get the bleep off of my property. So I can see where it can escalate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wish I would have known that it was blocking our driveway when he came over.
But even then, it was like, what did he want you to do? Like, what was going to fix it?
Hang on. Let me go get into my time machine and go back and stop my wife from coming over there.
So I can fix your party. Like, that's what's important. You need me to fix your party. Because ego, again,
killed the morale asking somebody to move their car from parked in front of our driveway so my wife could get in her truck.
Jason, you got it.
I told my wife, I said, next time, just move the car with your truck.
Okay, we're going to get on tangents. We got to keep going.
What police don't have a very good grasp of, and prosecutors and juries to that extent, they don't understand, and they won't, in many cases, be allowed to see the history, of this, of what led up to this use of force or deadly force.
Yeah, like someone blocking a driveway.
Snapshot of what happened in this exact moment. And I think folks have a lot of trouble separating, hey, this person has been a nightmare for 5 years, and then it just finally boiled over.
And then you punch them, and
whenever
then
they review that,
you got to punch them, bite their nose off.
In this instance,
you go full cannibalistic on them.
What the heck? Officer, you have no idea what I've done.
Having worked on the other side, having worked on the law enforcement side of things.
They probably don't care.
Officers
I know. I probably wouldn't care.
Responding to neighbor disputes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When they do, they're gonna arrest one of you. Right. Anytime you call them out, probably if there's been some sort of
because they're pissed they have to come out there.
They're not going to want to hear the backstory
because you can't have
because you're babysitting adults.
Did you see?
You chose not to have kindergarten level conversations.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Do you know how easy it is not to be in that situation?
That neighbor still hates your guts, assuming he's alive.
Yeah.
That's me shutting the door.
Yeah. And so it's hard then for the prosecution to even resolve your case short of a trial or a really
neighbor who did like somebody's fence being too high, so they just cut it down with the chainsaw.
Because the neighbor hates you.
Your what was too high?
Saying, I don't really care what happened. It all got blown out of proportion.
I was like, well, that'll be exciting.
No, I had a complaining witness who every time his neighbor came home from work, that just reignited all the fire in his belly. And he called me and he said, complained, I feel strongly about this case.
Could you imagine that just getting like your life is so boring that you have time to worry about when I don't know when someone else comes home from work. I don't know when you guys come home from work. Like,
I would hope not. I live like states away from you.
Yeah.
Stalker. Neighbor disputes.
The only people give a crap about is
those pitfalls. Act as a last resort. That's really what it comes down to for neighbor disputes. You really want to de-escalate, act as a last resort. And
that's a big thing, just de-escalate. Like, get good enough to communicate so you can de-escalate this.
And I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to say if that's your problem, you lack ingenuity and I don't know what else word to use.
You're looking for emotional intelligence is the word you're looking for.
No. I'm going the opposite way.
Okay.
Yeah, because what my sole goal would be if I had a neighbor that went like that. My sole goal would be how to legally and lawfully piss them off to no extent.
No.
Yeah, that would be my sole goal, dude. That would be my sole goal. Like,
that's how it gets that far. That's how it gets to level 11.
No, legally and lawfully.
Oh my God, no, that's the opposite. And
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching
you. Exactly. If you don't have an HOA, like painting your house bright pink.
Yeah.
Just because I'm gonna piss them off.
And we talked about this during the live where people talking a lot about some different stuff, and we're like, dude, you need to focus on de-escalation. And it's really what we've seen, and kind of why I want to share this with you guys and share it with the group too, is it's the same theme across everything. If you see two people fighting each other, you want to de-escalate. Don't inject yourself in there. Same with a neighbor. Don't inject yourself. De-escalate.
Right, but I would argue with that, and you shouldn't. So number one, what I just said, I'm completely joking, right? Well, kind of, not really.
No, he wasn't.
No, I was saying take the high ground. Don't do what I do. But there wouldn't be anything to de-escalate. It's 100% ego. Like, I'm not going to de-escalate with my neighbor because I'm not going to bow down or cower down to them or, try to admit fault or try to get them to calm down. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going to shut my door.
Yeah, exactly. De-escalation can even be removing yourself from the situation. It's just not taking.
Just shut your door.
Yeah.
Shut your door.
Okay.
Like, don't say anything. Don't yell anything. Just shut your door.
Dude, wait. Number 2 of self-defense scenario is dog attacks. Oh,
this happens so incredibly frequently. And again, I think we have something that's a little bit similar with our neighbor disputes, which is a lot of times people end up shooting when they're looking at sort of a past history with a particular animal, not what that dog is doing on that particular day. In fact, that happened to a good friend of mine. Her father did this exact thing. A dog had actually killed his small dog several weeks prior. He saw the dog again. The dog was not doing anything aggressive, and so he shot it. And unfortunately, when police show up, they're not going to want to hear
like 2 weeks ago that dog was mean.
What was that dog doing?
I saw an opportunity and executed it.
Today.
And never saw it coming.
Also, just the notion that, well, it's on my property, that means I can shoot it, which is, I mean, not
mere
true
trespass is not justified in use of deadly force.
Think it
People
is.
say that all the time too. They come on my property, I'm going to shoot it. Okay, you're going to go to jail.
The dog, every time it gets on the property, it kills one of your chickens. Well, guess what's going to happen this time? You see it on your property. Well, it's probably going to kill your chicken. But law enforcement, prosecutors, juries, even. They are, again, looking at that snapshot. So you got to be really careful. The other one that comes up is, let's say you go walking in your neighborhood with your animal, getting attacked by a dog, or seeing dogs on the loose, not behind fences, not on leashes. If you find yourself in that scenario, it's really important to maybe have alternatives to a firearm. Because if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And if you find yourself in that situation of having to defend yourself or defend your
I just don't know about carrying
you
pepper
want to
spray
maybe
around with me
have
when
some
I'm out for a walk
intermediate
with my
tools.
dog.
Because I see that come up a lot. And I see there's dogs roaming all over the place.
See,
and so you maybe think
here's
about
my
carrying,
thought on that.
it's legal,
When a burglar comes into my house, my dog's job is to give me 3 to 5 seconds. That's my dog's job. Unfortunately, she's probably gonna die. But give me 3 to 5 seconds, dog. When I'm out walking my dog, I'm a force multiplier for my dog. So if a dog runs up to attack her, like I step in between. I've done it, I don't know, a handful of times. I step in between. But between me and my dog, there ain't a dog in my neighborhood that's gonna be able to beat that.
Well, I think they bring up that, and they'll talk about in a second why you want to have some alternatives.
Or some alternative to a firearm if you find yourself in that scenario. Because I'll tell you, police, let's say you have a dog that's attacking you and you shoot it, completely justified. For whatever reason, just discharges within city limits. Police officers are always looking for, hey, a gun went off. Maybe there's some other crime here. Maybe you're not getting charged with cruelty to an animal or something like that.
We all know that
discharging across a road, discharging towards a vehicle or a habitation.
Discharging toward habitation.
Right. So you got to be very, very
didn't
careful.
go near anybody. Now you're in city limits.
One,
you have 2 charges against you already, and you saved some kid from a dog.
That's road rage. I would say road rage is probably.
Now pause for a second, Jay. I think this was interesting. People were asking us
80 to 85%.
people asking us during our live chat like what we do for road rage, and it was kind of it's kind of a wonky question to all of us. We're like, we don't do anything. Like we don't.
Yeah,
care.
I just had an incident like 2 nights ago.
Did
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
So the lanes, they're construction. The lanes go down to 1 lane. It was 2. It goes down to 1. It's clearly marked all the way back. I'm a nice person, but I believe in the zipper effect, right? 1 for 1. So I let that one car in, and the lady jumped barrel up and almost hits me and just keep pushing. If it was a nicer vehicle and I didn't love my truck so much, I would have just kept driving and just hit her. I didn't care. Well, then because we're super close, she gets all mad and she looks out her window, and I'm just staring at her, and she flips me off. The end.
Like the end, exactly.
Like the end. What's this lady gonna do? She's got a big old Dodge Ram grill right in her window, and she's flipping me off. Like, yeah, I was clearly in the wrong, lady. You're right. You're awesome.
I'll share a story with you. I had a friend of mine who a little more vindictive. So guy runs him off the road. He ends up in a ditch. He doesn't do anything bad. He follows this guy home. He follows him home for an hour, wait till the guy gets out of his car, and shoves him headfirst right into his own car and knocks him down. Just walks off.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and then you go to jail for assault. That's what they're talking about.
And I'm like, man, why did you do it? Why did you care so much about it? Like,
right?
Anyway, sorry.
Like if he damaged my vehicle, then yeah, I'd be mad. But that's what insurance is for. Get a picture of the license plate and call the cops.
It's all egos, is what it is. People get so upset if who they are gets insulted. You know, we talked about it in the live, like, you know, you want to should at them, but you want to should all over them. Like, man, that person should be driving better. Man, that person shouldn't be doing that. And it's like, dude, why do you care? Like, you drive how you drive and let them be an idiot. They were an a-hole before they met you. They're going to be an a-hole long after you. Let it go.
That's how I felt with that lady. Like it wasn't a nice car. And I'm like, well, obviously this is you make poor choices like this your entire life.
Continue on to your poor choice life.
Right. Go ahead.
Hurry to it.
If you haven't been in an accident recently, you will be driving like that. Have fun with it.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting. This came up on the live, but
guess what? I'm not in jail. I don't have charges against me, and my truck's still all in one piece.
Yeah.
It's really high. Well, okay. How about all the arrests?
Okay, that is 100% true.
And you know, road rage is scary. And I think I've read news reports right now that it's like road rage instances are increasing.
I love watching those like road rage karma videos.
Right, and we tend to take it out.
Dude, have you guys seen that more recent video? It kind of plays into this.
Which one?
Really, really
I think she was
a good guy. Which, by the way, both parties always think they're the good guy.
What are they called? People at the airport.
Guy, and you're just
TSA?
Yeah, TSA agent. The cop got a call, road rage incident, brandishing a firearm.
Oh,
Have you guys seen that video?
No.
They pull her over, and the cop parks on the railroad tracks, and she further down. They bring her out of the car at gunpoint. They put her in handcuffs. They search her entire car for a gun. They end up finding one. All while she locked in the police car. A train comes, dude.
No.
I swear on my life, dude.
We have to do a react for that one. We have to watch that together. We haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Woo. And it's bad.
Oh my goodness.
It's bad. All over road rage.
Yeah.
Trying to mind your own business, and you're not even engaging in the road rage at all, and you're terrified.
I like they said both sides always think they're the good
like
guys.
The last resort, I'm going to pull out my handgun. I'm just going to put it on my dashboard. I'm going to show him. You are the guy who is going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is just these are he said, she said cases.
You're escalating, like we talked about. If you escalate, man, you're the bad one.
They're bad drivers. They're reporting a crazy driver who is just pointed it. Doesn't matter what you do with the gun, by the way, you will have pointed it because that is always what they say.
Yeah. And so, you know, what does this look like? You're getting on the highway, somebody won't let you in.
These are such good tips for people to know.
People start speeding up and slowing down.
You can't be done with the firearm.
But I don't want to make sheep out of shepherds either.
Driving is what's called a attention.
But be smart.
You know, you're
right.
paying attention to a lot of
different
things.
I'm a sheepdog. Guard over them. No, you're smart.
No, if I'm driving down the road and somebody's mad, I didn't see them and I cut them off and I wave and say sorry and stuff, and they're trying to run me off the road with my family in the car,
then you got
that's different.
You got to act accordingly.
I'd rather be judged by a jury than, bury my family. So.
Yeah. Listen, different situations, obviously.
No, I don't have any medical journals or studies to back that up, but we see this happen so frequently that's kind of the
I've had people get mad at me, and I think maybe they talk about it, but they followed me before, and I just went to a police station.
Single day, you carry a
they just drove off. Like,
if you find yourself in a scenario to de-escalate
what do you need?
and avoid like most states allow someone to be charged based on the testimony of a single witness.
Well, if you don't know where a police station is, at least drive it to a parking lot that you know have cameras. Walmart, Best Buy, big box stores.
The chances of you getting arrested are extremely high. So de-escalate. Don't engage in road rage. If you feel threatened, drive to a police station, exit the street, slow down, get away from the driver. But you don't want to be using force or threatening use of force or deadly force unless it's a last resort. If the person gets out of their vehicle and starts coming at you with a tire iron, if they point a firearm at you or start shooting at you, obviously you got to preserve your own life, based on the law of self-defense in your state. But be very careful with these scenarios because it comes up. So
don't be the one that initiates.
Don't throw the first punch. I'm really bad. I threw the first punch. Like, cool.
See, but I see them going the opposite way with Walsh.
The guy who's got to try really.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Walsh is the best person that I know to get under people's skin nicely.
Yeah.
So I see somebody like just flip Walsh off, and then the next thing we know, like it should have ended there, but Walsh was so nice to them that it just drives them insane.
Then we got a free gun out of it. Something crazy happens. But
I can see Walsh being so nice to people. Like when I say nice, I'm being very sarcastic. It's his words are nice, but his meaning isn't.
And we talk about emotional intelligence. I kind of was keying into it before, like being so emotionally wise to the situation. Like, you're not going to stir me up, but I'm going to stir you up, and I'm going to get you to throw the first punch because I'm smarter than you. And then when I do, I'm going to have self-defense, right? So it's like, if you really want to take the situation there, I'm not going to be, I may be the instigator, but in the eyes of the law, you were. And it's just knowing those things, like, go ahead, man.
And that's why you drive to the police station or to somewhere that can't have cameras, because when they pull that video footage and you drive in and you're trying to call 911 and you park and somebody else comes up to you and they are the aggressor, how does that look on camera?
Yeah. Hey, you saw me. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. It's all about what you can prove in court.
I get it. But avoidance, that's going to be the question on the minds of the officers, the prosecutors, your jury potentially, is what you were in a thing where you could have just set your foot down and been gone. Why didn't you use that machine you were in to get away somehow? It might not be a fair question, but I guarantee 100% of the time it's the question they're going to ask.
Yes, and even in those states that are stand your ground, you have no legal duty to retreat. You're not committing a crime, other than maybe you're having to defend yourself. You're in a place you're legally allowed to be, and you did not trick the person into fighting you. Even in those states where you have no legal duty to retreat, juries just can't help themselves. They're gonna think about it. But
because they're thinking level-headedly while you were thinking with ego and emotion and adrenaline.
Anti-2A algorithm by sharing this video.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I thought that was a good video. What do you guys think? Good snippets for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's things that that they talked about that are interesting, but it's kind of a boring video.
But
it's interesting to know the top 5 reasons that people use the gun.
Yeah, everything could be exciting. Fine. Next one we'll do an exciting one next time. We'll make sure that you guys pick a good one. That does remind me, if you guys have suggestions, go on our Discord. We'll watch some of your suggestions. People put in a bunch of shorts. I was telling Jason about that. So we'll probably do a whole bunch one of these days, and we'll respond like, I don't know, 5.
Watch a bunch of shorts.
Just watch a ton of them.
TSA lady get hit by train.
Dude, well, I'm gonna put it on the list.
Dude, when they were going through it, I'm like, why did he keep harping on the cop car parked on the train? I get it, dude. It was unsafe. Whatever. Yeah. There's no way that's how that video ends. I remember thinking that, and then that's how the video ended.
You should. Now we know. Like now, the whole time we're gonna be watching. Like, oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, we can't do that one, but Lackluster did a good video on it.
I have to watch it. Okay, Jason, you want to bring us home?
Yeah. So, like Walsh was saying, Discord, you could submit suggestions. If you like this format, this is kind of how we do our Thursday night live chat. So join us over there. You could drop links to us there. You could talk about whatever it was we talked about here. But yeah, besides that, guys, hope you enjoy this style. We'll be doing a lot more of these.
All right, thanks everyone. Gonna edit this like we would do anything else. So whenever you want to start it.
That's what you said last time, and you didn't edit anything.
Because it was funny.
Don't worry, I can edit
That sounds
this.
like Wallace.
Don't worry, I can edit it. No, I really will this time. Okay, so go ahead and start.